Welcome back to this channel. In today's video, we shall show you how to calculate gravitational force from a solid body on a particle. Let's look at the problem below. In figure below, find the gravitational force on mass 5 grams, so that is 5-gram mass, due to the thin uniform semicircular rod, that is this one, which is in fact a rigid body. And its mass is 5 kg with radius 70 cm. This little mass m is situated at the center of the curvature, which we can take to be the origin of the coordinate system. We are going to use Newton's law of gravitation that says the magnitude of the attractive force between two masses is given by this equation. However, we cannot use this equation directly. We need to do some modification. To do that, let us divide the uniform semicircle into tiny mass, like that. Such a tiny mass contains a mass d capital M. We know its distance from little m is the radius of that semicircle, which is capital R, which we know the value to be 70 centimeters. And for later application, let's assume the angular coordinate of that element is theta. Let's also take the linear length of that element to be ds. Let's also assume that the two ends of that element makes an angle d theta with respect to the origin. So the gravitational force exerted by that mass on that mass is given by the following expression: g little m capital dm over r squared. This is the magnitude of that attractive force. We note that the mass is distributed uniformly because we are told that this is a uniform semicircular rod. What that means is the density is a constant. So we can relate the mass to the density, which is a linear density, in a following way. It is the linear density constant times the length of that element, ds. However, we know ds from geometry is simply r times d theta. Since the density is constant and it is a linear density, it is simply equivalent to the total mass, which is capital M, over the total length of that semicircle, which is pi times the radius. Substituting that in here, you get m over pi r d theta, so the r goes away, giving you m d theta over pi. Let's substitute this expression for dm in here, which will give us capital M there, pi there, d theta there. This is the expression for the attractive force exerted by that element on that tiny particle. The direction of that force will go like that. Remember, the force dF is a vector, so it has two components. It has the x component, we can call it dfx, and y component, which is dfy. dfx is quite simply df times cosine theta. This is from trigonometry, but theta is the angle between that center of the element and the x-axis. Likewise, dfy is given by df sine theta. What that means is this expression df can be written in terms of vector notation in the following way. So if the first term is the x component, so you have cosine theta d theta I hat, plus now the y component, g little m capital M over pi r squared sine theta d theta j hat. In order to determine the total force from the entire semicircle rod, we need to integrate the above expression, like that. This will ensure that we cover the contribution from such tiny elements all the way from this point to that point. You see that in those two integrals, those terms, they are constants and can be taken out of the integral sign. So that means the total force, which can label as F, like that, can be written like this: G M capital M over pi r squared. The first integral is cosine theta d theta I hat, so that is the x component, plus now the y component j hat, integral of sine theta d theta. Now comes an important part, the limits for those two integrals. When this element occupies the x-axis, theta is 0, so that is the lower limit for theta. And when dm is on the opposite side, you see that theta is quite simply 180 degrees. So 180 degrees, or pi radiant, is the upper limit for theta. Let's look at the first integral. Integrating cosine theta with respect to theta will give you sine theta. And putting in the limits, 0 and pi, will simply give you 0. So that means there is no x component contribution to the force. Now let's look at the second integral. Integrating sine theta with respect to theta, you get minus cosine theta. And let's put in the limits. You get minus cosine pi minus cosine 0, which will give you 2. So there we have it. This result is essentially just 2j hat. So the overall net force due to that thin uniform semicircular rod on that tiny mass is in upward direction. Now let's put in the numerical values. Capital G is a universal gravitational constant, so that is 6.67 times 10 to the power minus 11. Little m is 5 grams, so it is 0.005 kg. Capital M is given to be 5 kg, so times 5. Let's not forget about that 2, so times 2 over pi, and r is 70 cm, so changing that into meter, 0.7 meter squared. And of course the direction of this force is j hat. And the final answer, when you do the calculation, will turn out to be 2.2 times 10 to the power minus 12 Newton in the direction of j hat. And that is the final answer to this question. As always, thank you for watching.